Post-hurricane floods, the U.S. government hits cigarette makers with a massive lawsuit over the cost of smoking-related illnesses. And a new Every Wednesday series of reports, The American Dream. Tonight, how this man kept that dream and a young life alive.
This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. More than 48 hours after the devastating earthquake in Taiwan, it's a race against time to save men, women, and children trapped under mountains of rubble. More than 2,000 people are known dead. That many more may be clinging to life buried in the ruins of their homes. Rescue teams have rushed in from all over the world, including the United States. CBS's Barry Peterson is keeping a vigil as they work.
It was a rare moment of joy in a land of despair. Rescuers pulling an 8-year-old girl from an apartment building. She may be the building's only survivor. But for so many others, with each passing moment, with each falling tear, the living are giving up hope. It has been 3 days since the earthquake, days of frantic rescue efforts. Today, what rescuers found was mostly bodies. Some high-rise buildings that tumbled down were almost brand new. Next to them, other buildings untouched. Officials suspect shoddy construction despite strict building codes here. Contractors cutting corners for a quick profit. Paid for now in lives lost. Hope, when it came, brought applause. Americans with their sniffer dogs and sophisticated equipment arriving in hard-hit Yunlin. The Fairfax, Virginia Fire and Rescue Team, who helped after the Turkish earthquake. This time, it is them against a new 12-story apartment building collapsed on its side. They immediately went to work helping rescue a middle-aged man trapped deep in the rubble. What are the key factors that mean someone can come out of this building alive?
The type of void space or area that's free of debris in which they're able to move around or that they're not pinned or trapped.
When the earthquake first hit, there were some people, as amazing as it seems, who were able to get out of this building alive. Taiwanese officials have told the Americans there are still more trapped inside. They don't know how many, and they don't know how they're doing. Not only is the building damaged, not only is time short, but constant aftershocks are threatening more collapse and vastly increasing the risk.
We're not here to, trade lives for lives. We're here to rescue live victims and hopefully do it without any injury.
In the end, the Americans and the Taiwanese shared triumph on the first night, the man rescued. The Americans know from their experience in Turkey that pulling someone alive from all this destruction can give weary rescuers all over Taiwan renewed hope for more miracles. Barry Peterson, CBS News, Yunlin, Taiwan.
In Northern California, a magnitude 4.2 earthquake shook an area of Sonoma County today. It lasted only a few seconds. No damage, certainly no major damage or casualties reported. As Californians know only too well, engineering improvements can prevent damage and injuries even in the much bigger quakes. CBS's Jerry Bowen has more on that.
Taiwan was hard hit this week because it's literally too soft, say earthquake engineers. Buildings erected on soft soil that magnifies an earthquake's destructive energy. It happened in Mexico in 1985, where the capital city sprawls across an ancient lake bed. And in San Francisco's Marina District in '89, a high-priced neighborhood built on landfill. San Francisco engineer Peter Yana, just back from surveying the quake damage in Turkey, says that in Taiwan, even some of the high-rise buildings have so-called soft stories or floors, greatly compounding the problem.
We call that a soft-story building. It's all wide open, breezeways, conference rooms like in hotels, etc. So, unfortunately, many of these buildings tend to be weak right at the worst spot, at the bottom.
And they become top-heavy, says Los Angeles structural engineer Nabi Yosef, whose firm uses computer simulations to help retrofit older buildings now prone to falling.
Once the spindly columns crack or fail, which they will with such a magnitude earthquake, then the building limps and starts to move into overturning and toppling.
Yosef estimates 1/3 of the older buildings in downtown Los Angeles, similar to those in Taiwan with soft-story construction, could face heavy damage in a major quake.
We can have similar happenings in our inventory of older buildings. 1930s, 40s, vintage 50s concrete buildings are susceptible to that exact catastrophic failure.
But Taiwan's problems were worsened, say engineers, by outdated building codes, 20 years behind U.S. seismic standards, and by the absence of any program to retrofit old buildings to quake safety standards, the same buildings that claimed so many lives this week. Jerry Bowen, CBS News, Los Angeles.
On the CBS Weather Watch tonight, a week after Hurricane Floyd struck land on the U.S. East Coast, huge sections of North Carolina are still under deep water. At least 42 are now confirmed dead in North Carolina alone, 69 overall. No one knows for sure how many people remain unaccounted for in the scurry just to complete relief and rescue. 47 aircraft were involved in that and in food and supply drops. CBS's Byron Pitts reports from a state running on empty, on a people emotionally drained but still determined.
Today in eastern North Carolina, as the floodwaters receded, reality sank in. A small-town jeweler learned his life savings were gone.
I've been on this block 42 years. I've never seen it come over the curb. And just lost everything just about.
A soldier showed his humanity.
The hardest thing for me is seeing the kids. Cut stop.
For the past 7 days, nothing here has been easy, and it won't be for a while. This is now a region running on empty. Today and every day since Saturday, National Guard Black Hawk helicopters have delivered food and water to those areas still isolated by the floodwaters. But now they are running low on supplies and volunteers. During the scheduled supply drop, the pilot expected an army of volunteers on the ground to offload his helicopter. When we landed, the field was empty, so everyone on board had to grab a box in a hurry. A guardsman called this compassion fatigue. Each day there have been fewer volunteers and fewer supplies coming in.
Things have really started to slow down. A lot of the corporations put trucks on the road shortly after the event, and a lot of people were making contributions in their towns and shipping them here, but it has all started to slow down at this point.
And that means what?
That means that we may run out of supplies for the people that need it.
Last night, North Carolina's Governor Jim Hunt went on television and pleaded for help.
North Carolina is throwing everything it has into rescue and relief. It has stretched us to the limit.
But people here have shown incredible resilience, like the massive rescue effort to save this horse, neck deep in muddy water for 4 days and dying.
So the horses is back over here. There's 4, they said, and there's 1 back over this way somewhere. I don't know exactly where.
The Tennessee National Guard airlifted the horse to dry land, where a team of veterinarians treated his wounds.
Considering all he's been through, it looks like he's only got 1 injury.
The horse survived. Despite the suffering and the shortages, this region hopes to do the same. Byron Pitts, CBS News, Tarboro.
Still ahead on the CBS Evening News, a huge new lawsuit against Big Tobacco to recover some of your money. The debate over a new formula for milk prices, you're going to pay a higher cost. And the American dream, a new series of reports about people living the dream, some struggling to make it, and those who make a difference.
The lower back.
Tylenol House Call. Information for healthy living.
Watching Wayne Gretzky, you'd never know the great one could have common arthritis.
When my doctor told me that my aches and pains could be the early signs of arthritis, I was really surprised.
It's not unusual. Millions of Americans under 50 have arthritis. Millions more are at risk. What should you look for? Risk factors include an active occupation, past injury, family history, age, and weight. Early signs of common arthritis include joint pain and stiffness.
Well, what do you do for your arthritis pain?
I take Tylenol.
The first choice of doctors for arthritis pain is the medicine, and Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. Tylenol works as well as the leading arthritis prescription, but it's much gentler on your stomach. So, Wayne, how does it feel to be retired?
Pretty good. These days, it's fun to be knocked around.
Could your pain and stiffness be the early signs of common arthritis? Talk to your doctor, like Wayne Gretzky did.
Tylenol House Call is brought to you by Tylenol Arthritis.
This spray can make more of a difference than you ever imagined.
Mommy, don't have to pick up Matt and Jennifer. They're still sick.
It can help make a difference in how many school days your kids miss this cold season. Just do what pediatricians do in their own homes. Zap those hot spots and kill the cold bug with Lysol disinfectant spray. It kills 99.9% of germs in seconds. Night and day, Lysol spray helps protect. You have our word on it.
The U.S. Justice Department today announced a landmark and massive civil lawsuit against the tobacco industry. This suit seeks to recover billions of dollars spent by the federal government for smoking-related health care costs. Attorney General Janet Reno accused cigarette makers of a, quote, coordinated campaign of fraud and deceit, unquote, to conceal the facts on the effects of smoking for decades.
As millions of cigarette smokers have gone into the hospital for lung cancer or emphysema, the American taxpayer has footed the bill. And over the years, that bill has added up. Today, on behalf of the taxpayer, we're asking the tobacco companies to pay their fair share.
The federal lawsuit against the tobacco industry asks for an estimated $22 billion a year in reimbursement for smoking-related illnesses, more than half now paid with your tax money under Medicare. The nation's largest tobacco company, Philip Morris, had this reaction today, quote, from a legal standpoint, it's just pure politics. President Clinton sees it differently.
I believe it's the right thing to do. The tobacco companies should answer to the taxpayers for their actions. The taxpayers of our country should have their day in court.
Keep in mind, today's federal lawsuit comes on top of the tobacco industry's separate $206 billion settlement with 46 states reached in November. CBS's Jim Stewart has covered this story from day one. Jim, why this new federal lawsuit and why now?
Dan, the why is pretty simple. Under prodding from the White House, lawyers at the Justice Department sat down and figured out that the federal government pays twice as much a year to treat tobacco-related illnesses as the states pay. So if the states can sue and recover a lot of that money, why can't the federal government get a little back as well? What makes this lawsuit different is that the government could be awarded billions of dollars more in claims if, and it's a big if they prove that Big Tobacco conspired all these years to hide the risk associated with cigarettes. Dan?
Jim Stewart in Washington, thanks. U.S. officials now say the FBI will conduct a wider investigation into accusations that China obtained stolen atomic secrets from U.S. nuclear weapons laboratories. The new investigation will reportedly expand beyond the previous focus, which centered on Wen-Ho Lee, a scientist fired from the Los Alamos National Lab. Wen-Ho Lee flatly denies spilling any secrets. The first contingent of U.S. troops arrived today in East Timor, where a UN peacekeeping force is fanning out in a field of chaos. In the capital, a government warehouse was looted by hungry refugees who come down from the hills. Australian troops arrested members of an anti-independence militia, but more buildings were set on fire as the militias continue their brutal backlash against the people who voted for independence from Indonesia. Up next on the CBS Evening News, farmer versus farmer in a battle over how much more you're going to pay for milk.
Ask your doctor about Viagra.
Something amazing happened here in
Lafayette, Colorado.
Chicago, Illinois.
Middletown, Connecticut.
And Pacifica, California.
I ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days. So did I.
Me too.
It helped lower my cholesterol 12 points.
22 points.
17 points. It's oatmeal across America.
We ate ours with raisins. We ate ours with pineapple.
applesauce.
Sauerkraut.
Really?
Really?
12 points.
It's Quaker oatmeal.
And it's probably in your pantry right now.
Wherever you live.
It's oatmeal karma.
Oatmeal.
Quaker oatmeal warms your heart and soul.
How about that?
Yee-haw. Enterprise rent-a-car for my trip?
Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
There's my husband, Nolan Ryan, still throwing heat. Can you believe he's got arthritis? You see, Nolan's doctor says the best way to control arthritis pain is to keep moving. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain, yet it's gentle on his stomach. In fact, I take Advil for my arthritis pain. That way, we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain.
A heavily lobbied big money struggle over the price of milk is coming down to the crunch in Congress tonight. This is a fight that goes back 50 years, pitting dairy farmers against each other and the U.S. government. CBS's Diana Olick explains why it's so hard to settle.
Back in the Depression, the only way people got milk was from a local dairy farm. So the government started subsidizing those small farms to make sure everyone would have access to milk. It was never a simple formula.
0.42 plus current cheddar cheese price times 9.87 plus current grade A butter price.
In today's world, that means farmers sell their milk for different prices all over the country. Now the Agriculture Department wants to change that and even out the prices among dairy farmers. That could save consumers 2 cents a gallon at the supermarket.
Now that there are refrigerated trucks in America, it makes sense to abandon 50-year-old thinking and find a new way to look at the millennium dairy industry.
But the government's new plan favors large producers in the upper Midwest and West and hurts the small farmers in the South and East. Precisely why Congress is now abandoning party lines and fighting along state lines over a bill to block the USDA.
We're seeing the industry becoming dominated by larger and larger agribusiness corporations rather than small family-owned farms.
Small farmers like Michael Wilkham, who has run his family farm since the 40s.
There's no money in it now, and if they cut the price of milk, there's a lot of dairy farmers going out of business.
Fearing just that, New England states didn't wait for a new plan. They created a compact, a dairy cartel which is allowed to set its prices higher than the federal level. Farmers like Wilkham in Maryland want to join.
It gives a higher price for milk and stabilizes the price so we know what we're getting every month.
But it also increases consumer prices by as much as 20 cents a gallon. Still, that may be the wave of the future because late today, the House did vote definitively to block the Agriculture Department's new plan. Now the bill is heading for the Senate and expected to face a similar fight. Dan?
Diana Olick on Capitol Hill, thanks. On the CBS Market Watch, the International Monetary Fund says the world economy is on the mend. It predicts growth of 3% worldwide this year and 3.5% next. OPEC says it will maintain at least until March the oil production cuts that have driven U.S. gasoline prices to a 2-year high. It was a mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow lost 74 points. The NASDAQ gained 37. There's an update tonight for you on the rare giant panda cub born in late August at the San Diego Zoo. She's reached an important milestone. Now a month old, the panda cub weighs over 2 pounds and has begun to take on the distinctive black and white markings. She's growing normally, they say, putting on 2 ounces a day. Up next, the American dream and some of the people who are keeping it alive.
When Americans take to the road, they generally take stuff.
We have the stroller, which has to be in the car at all times.
Transports my bike and anybody else that wants to go.
That's why Americans are switching to Chevy Malibu.
Powerful, roomy, comfortable.
Malibu offers a V6 and still costs over $3,000 less than Camry and Accord.
We're very happy we bought the Malibu.
The car you knew America could build. Malibu.
Step into a new Malibu and get 0% APR financing up to 36 months or $1,500 cash back. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
Now our first denture cleanser keeps dentures feeling clean all day. New Fixodent with ProGuard, a breakthrough tablet and bath system. First, place your dentures into the bath and release the power of ProGuard to get them 4 times cleaner. Then you lift the inner basket to help seal in the clean with the ProGuard barrier, protecting against plaque and odor-causing bacteria from morning till night. Fixodent with ProGuard. Start cleaner, stay cleaner.
Fortunately, there's Nasonex nasal spray, an effective nasal allergy prescription medicine taken once a day to relieve nasal allergy symptoms, indoors and out. Now that's wonderful. The most common side effects were headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
This is a court-ordered legal notice. If you own a house, mobile home, or other structure that contains polybutylene pipe with plastic or metal insert fittings, You may be entitled to free replacement of your plumbing if it has leaked or leaks in the future. The plumbing must have been installed between January 1st, 1978 and July 31st, 1995. Call 1-800-392-7591 for information about your legal rights, including your right to exclude yourself from this class action settlement if you purchased your structure after August 21st, 1995.
The American dream, the idea and the ideal are an important part of who and what we are, and it's at the very heart of our history. It's more than 2 centuries old and still going strong. Tonight, the CBS Evening News begins an every Wednesday report about the men, women, and children striving for the American dream, making a difference and inspiring the rest of us. Tonight, the story of a man who realized a dream and, as you will see, rescued another.
Hi, how are you? I'm Dr. Sutton. I guess I was about 9 or 10 years old when I had the idea of becoming a doctor. Let me listen to him while he's turning in my direction. I really didn't know what a doctor did other than help sick people.
Dr. Clarence Sutton grew up poor on the mean streets of South Central Los Angeles.
Well, everything seems to be stable. All I knew was that if I studied hard, that I could potentially get out of life what I wanted.
He had no role models to speak of.
We'll keep an eye on his neurological status.
No one in his family had ever gone to college. But what he did have was a burning desire to be a surgeon.
Why surgeon? I would have to say I thought about being a surgeon after I took a sewing class in junior high school.
Dr. Sutton never imagined that skill would thrust him into the national spotlight.
You always have to be ready.
But on August 10th, it did.
Someone had an Uzi and started firing on a Jewish daycare center, and this kid took a couple of rounds.
The wounded child was 5-year-old Benjamin Katish, who was rushed to Providence Holy Cross Medical Center.
The first thing I noticed was that he seemed lifeless.
Benjamin required immediate surgery.
He was bleeding just that badly.
It would be Dr. Sutton's first operation on a child.
It really made me think about how important life is. Not some adult, but someone's kid.
So after 7 long hours in the operating room...
How's he doing at this point?
He's critical but stable.
Dr. Sutton and his staff saved young Benjamin's life.
It's been fabulous. It's always fabulous to help out in saving someone's life. To see the relief on the faces of the parents after I came out of surgery and gave them an update, it's something that, you know, you just can't really explain to others, and something that you don't want to ever lose or ever lose sight of.
A spokeswoman at the hospital told CBS News today that Benjamin is in good condition and spirits and has no permanent damage. He could be out of the hospital in a few days, but he'll have to return for extensive physical therapy. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the family ties that bind against a flood of woe from Hurricane Floyd.
The American Dream, brought to you by Fidelity Investments. We help you invest responsibly.
People often stop me in airports, on the street, and they say, you know, I've been investing with Fidelity for years. And all these people, they take time to say thanks. Yeah, I found first-generation Americans that put money aside for the kids to go to college. I see people that are in retirement. Others have invested their inheritance with us. They're not thanking Fidelity for doing anything magical. We made them some money. They're thanking us for handling their investing and doing it in a very responsible way. Whether investing online or in person, Fidelity's sense of responsibility remains the same. And that's what we're about. Everyone's talking about how easy it is to invest today. Point, click, trade. Wow. When you come to Fidelity.com, you can get the tools to make you a more responsible investor. That's Fidelity technology. The discipline, the research analysis, the sense of responsibility will not change. Those are Fidelity principles.
For over 50 years, millions of Americans have invested responsibly with Fidelity. We can help you do the same.
We ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days, and it helped both of us lower our cholesterol 17 points. You'd think we want to eat something different after 30 days of oatmeal. But you know what they say?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul. Want to color your gray beard or mustache and look natural? Get Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Brush in and in 5 minutes, gray is gone.
No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Love at first sight. What's that based on? Have you ever looked at someone and said, check her out, she looks loyal? Or, whoa, look at the morals on that guy. No, love at first sight is based on something else. Sight. Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, nicely equipped at 17.7. You'll even love what's on the inside.
In the chaotic and heartbreaking aftermath of Hurricane Floyd, many families remain separated from each other, separated by water, and no word on their whereabouts. But even in flood, blood is thicker than water. And as CBS's Randall Pinkston found in North Carolina, the family search is full out, come heck or high water.
In Rocky Mount, North Carolina, they're building a whole new community for flood victims. 300 trailers are being set up for people who have lost everything. They'll be able to live here for up to 18 months. But before they can move in, they have to be found.
Good afternoon, American Red Cross.
In a tiny room where the phones never stop ringing.
Do you know if they could be staying with any relatives or anything?
Volunteers are trying to help stricken families reconnect.
Okay, what are you trying to find?
Using computerized lists from area shelters, they look for the missing. Outside this shelter in Tarboro, a wall of messages pleads for a phone call for information about relatives and friends.
The mom and dad, they have called, but we still don't know exactly where they are.
While she collects clothes for her grandchildren, Valerie Hyman Battle wonders about her sister, whose neighborhood is now underwater.
I just pray and ask God to let them make it safely, because we haven't heard from her.
We'll find somebody to help you.
Betty Brown lost touch with her mother.
She is my mama and stuff, and I love her to death. So it hurt.
Every day, more than 2,000 people call here, hoping the volunteers can help. These names are today's success stories, families who were found. Kelly Roberts is thankful she can provide some small comfort.
We all need to give a helping hand, because it could be us. You know, we could be in that same predicament.
With devastation so vast, authorities can't put an exact figure on how many people need to be found. At least someone is putting families together again, one by one. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Greenville, North Carolina.
And that's part of our world tonight. With a salute of solidarity for our friends in North Carolina under water siege, Dan Rather reporting for the CBS Evening News. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the Internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Did you know that gun sales are booming and that gun buyers seem to be in a big hurry?
The riot-type shotguns and the ARs are very hot items.
So what's the rush? Are people afraid of something? What we found may surprise you. See an Eye on America report tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Hair loss. Is there anything that'll stop it? Find out tomorrow on This Morning. Experience CBS News.